A-N-E. Eliane.
Just one N.
Hmm.
And I believe that is from French origin. Is that right? Is that right?
I really don't know. I never investigated.
Elian, I believe it's French origin. Let me Google it really quick. Origin of the name Elian. It says,
Oh, true. And my hands also die doing this. Yes. With it's like linoleum.
oh wow, that's impressive. Very, very nice. Excellent, very pretty. Let me welcome Miky. Hello, Miky. How are you today? Good afternoon. I cannot hear you, Mickey, for some reason. I can hear Mitch, but I cannot hear you for some reason. Can you hear Mickey, Mitch?
No.
No. No, we can't, Mickey. There is something wrong. Maybe the loudspeaker that you chose. Let's see. How did you do that at aircraft, Mitch? Artisanal or aircraft? How did you do that? Very nice.
With some, how can I say navajas?
Razors.
With some razors specialized for this. It's supposed to be this dragon of moon. We,
Okay.
with one classmate, draw this dragon, and then we have to paint with the that dressers, navajas,
Razors. Razors.
razors, doing in this table
Fantastic. Very,
of
very
wood.
artistic.
Mhm. And
Very,
this
very nice.
going to work to like sello,
Seal.
seal, serigraphy seal.
That's very nice. Very, very nice. I don't, Mickey, have you been able to change the microphone? Can you hear us? Maybe you cannot hear us. You can hear, but then the microphone has a problem. Maybe. Do you know where I normally go? I normally go to the settings where it says configuration. And then I go to audio, and then in audio it has microphone and has the loudspeaker. So maybe it's the microphone that you need to change. Yes, probably, right? Or maybe just restart or something. Do you play chess, Mitch?
No,
But
unfortunately.
do you know how to play the moves? How to make the moves?
Um, some of them.
Some of them. Luis Angel knows how to play chess. I don't know if Mickey
Yeah,
knows.
he's really good.
Behind me, in the background, there is a world champion called Tigran Petrosyan. He was a very, very strong player, but his style was what is called positional. Not totally tactical, but positional, little by little. I can see your microphone, Mickey. Now I couldn't see it before, but now it is deactivated. Maybe you just activate the microphone, and maybe that's it. No, no, I cannot hear you. No, but I could
Maybe
see,
you go out, log out and log in again.
or maybe the volume is too low too. Yeah, log out and log in. Maybe the volume is too low. But now I can see that you activate or deactivate the microphone. I can see that. Now it's deactivated, it's not activated. Maybe you just reactivate it and maybe increase the volume. Or like Mitch says, log out and then log in again. No, I cannot hear you. No, not like that. No. And you cannot hear him either, right, Mitch? You cannot, or you can?
No.
No. Well, in this moment, I noticed that your microphone is deactivated. It's not active. But when you open the microphone, then it has happened to me that sometimes I have the microphone active, but the volume is very low, imperceptible sometimes. It's strange. Do you know the names of the pieces, Mitch?
Yes.
Okay, which are
Well,
them?
most of them.
Do you know them in English or in Spanish?
No, in Spanish. Well, I know there is a horse, a queen, a king, and tower, and alfil,
Alfil, okay.
alfil. Uh, what? And that's it, right?
You need the peones.
The peones.
So, how do you say king?
King,
Okay.
rey,
And the
queen,
queen?
reina,
Yeah, you
y
call it in English dama. The only, it's
dama.
actually, it's reina, but the thing is when you write the notation, you normally use the initials to designate the name of a person, of a piece. So, for
Mm,
example, if the queen is in A1, you see a chess diagram. Let me open a chess diagram really quick. Let me do that for you. For example, I have this Lichess program, right? Lichess is a very nice program. And I'll show it to you in a moment. I'll show you a study. I'll show you a study here. Public studies, right? So I'll show you this in a moment here. So, all right. So I'm gonna share the screen. I'll share the screen. Am I sharing? No, I'm sharing the screen. Okay, here. Okay. So if you notice a chessboard, you will see that it has columns.
Oh, Luis was playing that in minutes ago.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Who was that? Luis?
Luis. Luis.
Okay. So you notice that there are coordinates. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. In
Mm-hmm.
Spanish, it's not a problem because the queen is designated by Q, the initial, right?
Mm-hmm.
The initial in English is Q. But in Spanish, Rey and Reina start with the same letter. King starts with K, so that's not creates no confusion. But if you say Reina in Spanish and you designate that in a book, you're gonna put R, so you're gonna not be able to distinguish between Rey and Reina. Yes? So that's why
Mm-hmm.
they call them Dama. And the initial is D, and that creates no confusion.
Okay.
Right? So that's why they call it Dama instead of Reina. Only because of that. That's the only reason. Then you mentioned that you have alfil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you will not imagine what the translation for alfil is. It is bishop.
Bishop.
Literally, obispo. Literally.
Okay.
And alfil is like a messenger. It's totally different. But this comes from Persian and from Hindi and Yiddish. So this is totally different. When it was taken to Europe, they made chess a royal game, a game for kings and queens. So
Mm-hmm.
everything became, for example, bishop became a bishop. The alfil, which was like a messenger, became a bishop. You mentioned that there is caballo too, right?
Yeah, horse.
A horse. Well, in English it's called knight. You know what a knight is, right?
Ah, come on. Ah, yes, guerrero
Guerrero, caballero,
o
etc.
caballero.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's because of the royalty. The
Mm-hmm.
royal people thought that caballo was too low, too low category. So let me see. There's a message probably from Miky. No, it's not a message from Mickey. No, he's not being able to come back. Hopefully, he does that soon. Okay. Well, so they called him knight because they thought it was more appropriate. The torre, that's the name in
Mhm.
Spanish. You know what they
Tower?
call it in English?
Tower?
Tower is tower is the exact translation like the Eiffel Tower or yeah, tower, but they call it rook. It's like a fortress. Rook is like a
Rook.
fortress, like
Rook.
fuerte, right? Rook, like a fortress or fuerte, which is torre. Torre is just one single piece of construction, where a rook is a complete fortress. It's more, let's say, it's bigger, right? A rook. And obviously, the same one that doesn't change is a pawn. It's a P and is pawn peon in Spanish. So, what do you think of the names, Mitch?
Uh, well, taking in count the context, myth era, it's good. This is really good
Exactly.
comparing with the meanings of Spanish.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Now, one question which is going to be evident for you immediately. Why do they designate night with an N and not with a K?
Uh,
Why do they
oh,
designate the night with an N and not with a K, which is the initial noun, the initial letter? I'm sorry.
mm, I don't know. It has to be something with the night.
No,
No,
has
I
to
don't
be
know.
has something to do with the notation. You see another noun, the most important one, which is the king, that starts with a K, and the
Mhm.
knight starts with a K. So they say, well, it's going to create confusion in the writing. If we write knight b5, it's going to be K and 5, and then king. So it's going to create confusion. You don't know if you refer to the king or you refer to the knight. So they went for the second letter of the word. They put an N as the initial and not a K, because there is another word that begins with K.
Mhm.
Makes sense, right?
More or less.
Yeah, I mean, if you, let's say that you write the notation, for example, here, let me show you. Here in the notation here, you write for example, you write the moves here, for example. You notice, well, here they have the figure. They don't have the notation, they have the figures, the figurines, actually, right? But if you go by, you designate, for example, you say K E5. Let me see, I think Mickey's back. Mickey's back. Hello, Mickey, are you back? I cannot
No,
hear you. Let's see, Mickey. Your microphone is off, Mickey. Okay, now it's on. Apparently it's on. I cannot. Can you hear Mickey image?
no.
No. There must be something wrong with the audio, Mickey. We still cannot hear you. It is a problem. Maybe you want to type your comments. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Yes. Okay. Well, listen. While try to fix it, try to correct it. But in the interim, meanwhile, you can probably type your comments, and I'll read them, or Mitch reads them, and then we can discuss the topic, which is the game of chess. The game of chess. Um, First of all, what is chess? What is chess? How do you play it? What is the purpose? How many pieces does each player have? What is the approximate value of each piece? And the other question is, what styles of play do people or players have? That's another question. And that happens the same in any sports. I think. So I don't know if you want to comment, Mickey, Mitch. What is chess for you guys? What is chess? The question is, people think that it's a sport, or the people think that it's some type of science because you need to analyze and investigate a lot. And some people think that it's some type of art like music, theater, but that's a personal opinion. What is that for you, Mitch and Mickey?
Maybe a combination of something cultural and sport. I know. I never think about it.
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
mm,
listen to Mickey's comment. Mickey says that it's a strategic game. Do you agree? Or do you
could
think
be.
that is,
Well,
he defines it as a game.
literally, it's a table game.
It's a table game. Okay. It's a table game. It's a table game like a parcasi.
I don't know if I can fuse it with some kind of science because you have to know every move and the way that your opponent think that make the good moves, and maybe something related with sociology. uh, but I'm not sure. But you have to analyze every little step and move.
Tell you what, Mitch, this comment that you just made that is related or connected with sociology sounds incredible. Totally new because I've never heard anyone compare chess with sociology. But tell you something, chess represents life. Actually, there is a chess champion, a world champion called Garry Kasparov. Garry Kasparov, and he wrote a book. He wrote a book, Garry Kasparov, and he thought that chess resembled life. That chess was more like life. In his book, How Chess Resembles Life, right? And that has a lot to do with sociology. In other words, you're saying something that the world chess champion wrote in his book, that chess is a little bit like life itself. What do you think, Mickey? Do you think chess can be like
Hello,
life
hello.
in the future?
Hi, teacher.
Ah, now I can hear you. You're
Yeah.
back, Mickey.
Yeah, I was searching on internet and I found that you need to download like update
An update, okay.
because yeah, because sometimes there are problems with Windows 11 and actually I used the computer today for a class in the morning and I couldn't use the microphone too either, but now I think that I could fix it.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Excellent.
How
Well,
are you,
we're
teacher?
happy. Fine, fine. Thank you very much. I'm sorry about last Saturday. My mother started feeling bad, not drastically bad, and there is a brother that is there too. So I went over there to see what how was going on, and I said I was in the middle of the way. I said, "Oh, geez, I forgot to even call
No,
you."
teacher, don't worry.
I was
How was your
totally.
birthday? Happy
Oh,
birthday,
the birthday
by
was
the way.
yesterday. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Turning. Thank you very much. 56. I think I'm around your dad's age, more or less, right? He must be 55 or 53,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
around
that
the
my dad
same.
has. Um, let
I
me
think they're
check.
about the same age. Your dad must be from
My
66 or 67, I
my dad
think.
is from 66, I think.
Same year, same year. And what month?
January 20
So he's actually
22 of
older than I
February.
am. I want to remind him that, well, he's my elder, so I need to respect him more. He's older than I am by
Yeah,
what, 8 months? Yeah.
actually, when I forgot his age, I checked the Super Bowl because it's the same year. For example, the Super Bowl is gonna be the 57, and my dad is gonna have the same age.
He's going to turn 57 in January. Wow, incredible. Well, but then let me see. You are 21, 22,
21.
21, and you, Mitch, you turned 18 or 19 recently?
19.
19, 21, 19. Yeah, because then I got married before your dad, your parents, because I got married and then I had Minerva in 1997. You are from what, Mickey? 2001?
And 2001. Yeah.
2001. Yeah, so yeah, she was born 4 years before. And then Mitch, you are from 2003,
Mhm.
and Sophie is from 2000. Sophie, my daughter, is Mickey's age, and Minerva is from 1997, 4 years older. Yeah, she's 25, and Sophie's 21. Yeah, so you're
21.
actually younger.
Hmm.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we were talking about chess and what type of game that is. You said that is strategic. Um, and Mitch made a very interesting comment that is a bit like sociology, actually, that it represents life in miniature. Do you agree with that concept, Nikki, or is too simple maybe, or is too, or chess is like a very simple version of life? What do you think?
Mm, Probably, yeah, it is true. Um, because it's like a society that must defend their kings, their queen, and yeah, probably it's uh, like life in a miniature way.
Okay, thank you, Mickey. What made you think that chess is like sociology, Mitch?
Uh, well, referring of maybe of the personality of their opponent, of the way that he or she acts, um, depending of their moves and the strategies which they take in the middle of the game. You are understanding their strategy and personality and the way that they move the pieces. And you can understand him, her, if it's possible.
Well, you're absolutely true. There was an episode actually which was more political than sportive or technical. It was an episode between two players called Victor Korchnoi, which you can Google, Victor Korchnoi, and another one which is Anatoly Karpov. This was a very intense political episode because Korchnoi was defecting the Soviet Union in a time when the premier was Brezhnev. He was Jewish, which you can understand that has strong political implications in the Soviet Union because the Jewish people, even they have always been always very talented people, they have been rejected from many societies for some reason. I don't know exactly why. But Korchnoi being how do you call it's yeah, he deserted. He was called a deserter. He deserted the Soviet Union and went to live in Holland, first in Switzerland. So he was the challenger of the world champion, Anatoly Karpov, which represented the Soviet regime. Uh, if you Google at this episode, you can find lots of information. Let's see if you can find something that connects Korchnoi with Karpov and Brezhnev. There must be something in Google if you connect these three names. Brezhnev was the premier of the Soviet Union, premier of the Soviet Union. Karpov was the world champion, and Korchnoi, which sometimes is spelled with T, sometimes without the T, Korchnoi was the challenger. Let's see if you find something about them. And this episode, he is a serious threat to the Soviet empire that represents socialism at that time. Karpov uh, is the world champion, a guy that is obedient, respectful, and strong in the sense of the Soviet law, and Korchnoi, which is called the bad guy. So let's see if you find any information about that episode in which Korchnoi wanted to take his son out of the Soviet Union, and then in a mysterious way, he lost the world championship against Karpov. Do you think politics interferes in sports, or sports are always 1%, 100% clean? What do you think?
No, I think that politics um, influence. How do you say influence in sports.
Interferes or influences? It
I
can
think
Influence.
influence.
both actually.
How is that, Mitch?
Yeah, I think the politics interferes and influence in everything in general, depending on some politic ideas or politic figures. The people could act different to support some ideas or people that way
Do
in
you think
general.
that can be something positive or negative or is neutral or does not nothing to do? Has nothing to
Mm,
do.
it could be both. If the idea of the figure it's good or bad, now it's there of all kinds of that people and ideas.
Okay.
Could be benefit or not.
All right. Now let's see if we can Google Korchnoi, Brezhnev, and Karpov. Korchnoi, Brezhnev, and Karpov. Let's see if we can Google that. Oh, here is a site called Korchnoi versus Karpov and the Kremlin plot. Okay, looks like it's a movie actually. Plot summary.
Are you sharing the screen, teacher?
Oh, let me share. I think I'm sharing. Let me stop and share again. Share the screen. Okay, let's see. Here and then here. Okay, I'm sorry. Here we go. Is closing gambits? Closing gambit. Okay, this is it. Actually, this is a good move to watch. Closing gambit, Korchnoi versus Karpov and the Kremlin. Let's see if we can read the summary. Can you read the first part, Mitch, please?
Yes. Fascinating story of the 1978 World Chess Championship between the Soviet Communist Party's
Protege.
Protege, Anatoly Karpov and the traitor and Soviet defector Viktor
Korchnoi.
Korn,
Korchnoi.
the screen blur, Korchnoi. One of those instances in life where true is stranger than fiction.
Yeah. How do you like the presentation, Miky? What do you think of this presentation or introduction to the movie?
Mm, yeah, that sometimes the life itself supers. How do you say?
Surpasses the truth.
Surpass. Yeah, surpasses the truth.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's actually true in this case. Let's read the Palm Pusher's summary, please. Can you read the part 50? Let's say, can you read from here, 1978? Well, not read it all, and then I'll ask Mitch to do a summary of this comment, please. 1978.
Yes, teacher. 1978, Anatoly Karpov is the world chess champion, having won the crown back from Bobby Fischer without playing a match. A loyal member of the Communist Party and a personal friend of the Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev, Karpov is the epitome of the younger Soviet Newman. Viktor Korchnoi is a survivor from the siege of Leningrad, cantankerous, free-spirited, and a harsh critic of the Soviet regime who claimed political asylum in Holland in 1976. 2 years after his defection, Korchnoi is challenging Karpov for the crown in the 1978 World Championship in Baguio City, the Philippines. What happened during that summer in 1978 is one of the most incredible sporting stories that has never been fully told until now. Both men were bitter personal rivals. Karpov is a legendary sports personality of the Soviet Union with a chauffeur-driven Mercedes, Moscow apartment, and country that how do you say that? Dacia?
Dacha
Dacia.
is like a cottage, like a small house in the country, in the forest.
Ah,
Very
okay.
pretty and for your personal use. So for your family or you yourself. It's a privilege given only to the top people in the Soviet Union,
Mm,
champions of sports, scientists, top people, just the top people.
okay. Uh, Whereas Korshunov is a traitor to Russia, airbrushed from history and known only as the contestant. As the players fought on the chessboard, their teams fought a war of espionage even John Le Carre would struggle to invent. Parapsychologists, thought waves, flag wars, mirror sunglasses, coded cohorts, KGB agents, corruption, and a sect of Eastern mystics wanted for murder were just some of the events that overtook chess in this epic World Championship event. Younger by over 20 years, Karpov led by 5 wins to 2, with the champion being the first to win 6 games. 6 games. But then the unthinkable happens. Korchnoi won 3 games in quick succession to level at 5 wins each. The Soviet ice-men had begun to melt.
Exactly. So, what happened when Karpov was leading the match, Mitch? Karpov was winning 5-2, and then what happened, which was a threat to the Soviet Empire? Karpov was leading the match 5-2, right? He was winning.
Mhm.
And the winner would be the first to win 6 games. But then what happened?
Mhm.
Yeah, what happened with Korchnoi when he was losing by 5-2? Did he recover or he just gave up or what happened?
Mm, okay. I sorry, teacher. My screen is blur. Mm,
Oh, okay. Let's see.
mm.
Let's see.
Then he recovered himself.
He recovered. Imagine that you're about to lose, and the complete Soviet regime is very happy. They say we're gonna beat the defector, the traitor, the bad man, the opponent of the regime, of the communist regime. We're gonna beat him 6-2, and suddenly he recovers, and now the match is 5-5. So one loss, and the traitor of Russia or the traitor of the Soviet Union beats the complete regime. What do you think that happened then? It's a big threat to the system, don't you think?
Mhm.
It looks like the man began to melt. In this match, there were parapsychologists. In this match, you just Google parapsychologists in Korchnoi Karpov 1978 match. And you're gonna see some paranormal KGB mind controlling Karpov and Korchnoi. And I'm gonna show you some pictures because you're gonna think that this is just look look at this picture. He was wearing sunglasses here because he thought that Karpov would hypnotize him. You see the picture on the left?
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Mickey?
Mm, I don't know. Probably if I don't know, um, if I wouldn't know about the story, probably I would thought that is the enemy or something like that.
Exactly, exactly. This is an impressive picture. Let me see one because they say that Karpov had the custom of staring with the eyes. He had a fixation of his eyes on courts, not during the match, and that made him very uneasy. Let me see, there's one like that. One of these pictures, he stares at the opponent deeply, and Koshno even went to the arbiter and complained. He said, "Look, they're constantly putting pressure on me." There are many pictures like that. Let me see if there's one like that here. Uh, I'm looking at the. There are lots of stories here. There must be pictures. Oh, here, like this. I don't know if you can see. Maybe it looks like Karpov is looking at Korchnoi directly in the eyes. But notice that Karpov has the flag of the Soviet Union and Korchnoi has the flag of Switzerland. And this is a rematch. This was in 1981 because the previous one was among them, between them, in 1978
Mhm.
before. And it was a very, very intense political struggle. And this is a custom. You see Bobby Fischer here looking at Spassky in a previous match. This is the US against Russia, 1972. This is previous to that match. The guy on the right here is the American Bobby Fischer. But look at this. And what do you think of the picture, Mitch? When you see this picture, imagine the Cold War, the US here on the right, Bobby Fischer, and Boris Spassky on the left. Here, this picture here. I'm going to point it here. What do you think of this picture?
Well, he obviously is nervous, or I don't know if we are about to lose, or he is hiding his smile, or no, I think he's about to lose.
He who? The one on the right or the one on the left?
Right.
Bobby Fischer. Okay, what do you, thank you, Mitch. What do you think of this picture, Mickey?
Mm,
Excuse.
Sorry. Thank you. Okay.
well, I think that in this picture he is feeling a little bit stressed, exhausted, because, well, I don't know if he is using the black pieces. I think so, right? Or, well, I can't determine it.
Okay, he looks. It looks like he's using the. He has the black pieces and Spassky has the white pieces. But they all have this custom, this use of staring at the rival at the eyes while he's thinking. So here Spassky is thinking. Spassky is thinking, and Fischer is staring at him. He's staring, and what is funny is the USA, and Spassky is the Soviet Union, right? Soviet Union. Soviet Union. And just to make it more fun, is 1972. He's in the apex of the Cold War. Cold War. Russia and the US. So that's what makes this event very, very intense and very dramatic. I disagree with many people. People say that this was the war of the match, the war, the true war, right? But in reality, Nixon called Fisher. Fisher was about to quit. And he said, no, okay, he was very whimsical, very whimsical. Whimsical is caprichoso. Whimsical. Fisher was very whimsical, right?
Mhm.
And apparently, Henry Kissinger was The Secretary of Defense for Richard Nixon called him and told him, "Hey, don't give up. Continue the match against Pasco because this is personal. This is Russia or the Soviet Union versus the USA, and you represent the interests of the USA." So this became very, very, very political. And but do you know what happened exactly the same year, Mickey?
In 1972?
1972 in the Olympic Games.
Mm, mm, it was I don't know if like a massacre, massacre.
Well, yeah, there was a massacre. They killed 11 Jewish players in Germany. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. 11. Yeah, that was a massacre. Yeah, you knew that, right?
Uh, One day I was looking History Channel and one I don't remember the name of the program, but mentioned that. But I don't remember if there was some 1972 or not.
1972 in Munich, yeah, in Germany, exactly. Well, the final match was between the USSR and the USA the same year of this event, exactly the same year. You want to Google really quick what happened? What was the result of that, Mitch? You want to Google about the result of the final
Mhm.
basketball game USSR versus the USA? Please, 1972. Can you please Google that?
Oh, uh,
Well, this is 5 minutes. I want to find one that is 1 minute.
The Soviet Union defeated Team USA by 1 point.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Can you share that, Mickey, please, or you, Mitch, when you find something?
I can share.
You can? Okay. You can't? Okay. Can you share, Mickey, something?
Mm-hmm. It's Wikipedia. There's a problem.
No, 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 of course not.
Can you see it?
Yes. Thank you very much. Okay. Who can read it?
Me?
Yeah.
The 1972 Olympic men's basketball final was the last game of that year's Olympic basketball tournament and became one of the most controversial events in Olympics history, with the ending mired in controversy. The Soviet Union defeated Team USA by 1 point, marking the latter's first ever loss in the event. Continue?
Mm, let's see. No, yes, 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 please. Yes, continue. Or
Both.
let Mitch read
Okay.
the rest, please. Mitch, if
Mhm.
you can read the rest, please. Both the US and the Soviet Union.
Mhm. Uh, uh,
Both the US.
okay. Both the US and the Soviet Union won the first 8 games of the tournament, with the US team having the overall Olympic record at 63-0 when they advanced to the final against the USSR. The final 3 seconds of the game were replayed 3 times until the Soviet team came out to top because of possible fitting for political reasons as the Cold War was ongoing at the time. The result of the game is disputed to this day. The United States team had won the previous 7 gold medals at the Olympics and was among the contenders to win another in Munich at the 1972 Summer Olympics.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mitch. So this is what happened in basketball. At the same time, that's very interesting because at the same time, something else was happening elsewhere. Fischer and Spassky were playing the World Chess Championship, and the Russians. Okay, not notice the score. Look at the score. Look at the score between these two powers. Basketball, the US was leading by 63 games, 63 wins, zero losses in the history, right? And if you look at the chess record of the Russians, they had won every match. All the champions in chess prior to these events were Russians. So you can look that up in Russia, Soviet score, Soviet Union record in chess up to 1972. Oh, let's see, world chess champions. Let me put world chess champions. World chess champions up to 1972. You're gonna notice that they all were um, Soviet championships, world chess championships. So World Championship, not 1972, but previous to that. List of World Chess Championships here. So all the champions were Russian or Soviet in chess, and all the victories had been for the Americans in basketball, right? So you notice here 19. Let's see, World Champions. Lasker, World Champion. Steinitz, no, Steinitz is not American, it's German. Whose country? Let me see, they must have that here. Okay, here, look. So from 1948, you see
Well,
World Champion. Can you see that, Mitch? Miky?
Yeah.
there are a lot of versions.
Yeah, the Russians were the Soviets, right? Botvinnik, Smyslov, Botvinnik, Mikhail Tal, Botvinnik, Petrosian. Petrosian is the guy that is in my behind me here in my you
Mhm.
see that in the screen. Did I put okay? So Botvinnik, Petrosian, then Spassky, and then Spassky lost to Bobby Fischer in 1972. He lost. He, the American beat Spassky. So is the exactly the reverse situation? Exactly in the same year, 1972, where Spassky was playing against Bobby Fischer, the American, and it's exactly in the moment when the Cold War is at the top, at the apex, and the Americans had been winning every basketball, not the Olympic Games, but every single game. Not only one single defeat, not one single defeat in their history, 63-0. Right?
Um,
And the same year, the Americans that beat the Russians that have been winning the chess world chess championship every single time with zero losses, right? And in that year, in the top of the Cold War, the Russians beat the Americans in basketball, and the Americans beat the Russians in chess.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think this is a makeup or what? Maybe to become friends again, or what do you think?
Mm, I don't know. Sometimes uh, the things act like a movie, and I think that it's good that not only one country is the leader on something, because that can impulse more competitivity. How do you say?
Competitivity, right?
Competitivity, and I think that is fair that every person of any any country could win one game or one sport. You know.
Yes, yes, yes. I hear you, Mickey. Okay. What do you think of this situation, Mitch? Do you think it's a makeup, or do you think it's real? It's a coincidence that the Americans lost to the Soviets after winning every single match in basketball, 63-0 for 7 Olympiads, and the Russians that have been winning every championship the same year, the Russians lose their leadership and the Americans lose their leadership in basketball and in chess. What do you think, Mitch?
Uh, about the Russians?
No, about the situation that the Russians are the leaders in chess for decades.
Mhm.
Year after year, they become the world chess champions in chess. And the Americans win the Olympiads historically every single game, not only the Olympiads, but every single game, 63-0. And in 1972, the Americans lose to the Russians in basketball, and the Russians lose to the Americans in chess. What do you? Is a range is fixed? Is a makeup or is a coincidence?
Mm, maybe a coincidence.
You think it's a coincidence?
Well, everything can happen. So.
Okay. Can I show you really quick a 55-second video, and I'll share the link with you guys of this basketball match. It's controversial. I don't know if I showed it to you before, but it's always a good idea to recap. Let me show it, share with this with you, please, really quick. I'll share this with StreamYard in case that difficult to watch here. Let's let's say, yes, okay, here.
Well, confusion reigns, but the United States still, they have that 1 point lead, 50-49, as a result of two pressure-packed foul shots by Doug Collins of Illinois State. Now the clock shows 3 seconds. There is time for the Russians to go to their big man, Alexander Belov. They're going to try. Alexander Belov. And the Russian team has robbed Alexander Belov. And this time it is over. First, it was indicated the U.S. had won 49-48. Then the clock, and again the official.
Okay, well, the controversy is that the Americans had beaten the Russians before. They started to celebrate, and
De
then
laatste wedstrijd van de Spelen was de finale van het
let me
basketbal
see.
tussen de Sovjet-Unie en de
Please.
VS.
Yes. And then the Americans started to celebrate, and then the referee stopped the game and said, "Look, this is not the end. We have to give 3 additional seconds to the Russians because um, the game has not ended." They asked for a time off. I don't know. You play basketball, Miky or Mitch, or
Mm,
you know the rules more or less.
I know the rules, but it's not a sport that I normally play.
Okay, but do you know the rule about the time off, Miky or Mitch?
Mm,
Uh, there are two timeouts. I don't remember.
Well, yeah.
the time off, and then like 30 seconds more. I know. I don't know.
Yeah, there are some rules that you can ask for so many time offs, but then they have to stop the clock. If you ask for a time off, you have to stop the clock. Apparently, the referee or the clock guard didn't stop the clock, so it continued running, and the game ended. And what the Russians complain about in this game is that they didn't stop the clock, so they had to rewind the clock by 3 seconds. So the
Mhm.
Americans were celebrating the victory, which is very dramatic because they considered to have won the gold medal. And then the referee stopped the game and said, "No, stop celebrating, stop celebrating. We're going to restart the game with 3 more seconds for the Russians." So the Americans accepted and they resumed the game. The Russians launched that throw to Bialov, and he scored the basket and won the championship and the gold medal for the Russians. The Americans didn't show up for the celebration. They didn't accept the silver medal. They just did not appear in the stage. They didn't show up to take the silver medal. So the place was empty. You can see this in the empty place US basketball finals. You will see this. You will see I think the picture. If it's images, you will see that the Russians basketball final. Let me put the year, 1972. So you will notice that in the celebration, the Americans were not there. Let me see if there is a picture here. I think it's here. Yeah, the Soviets won. Okay, here you will see. The Americans didn't show up. You see the picture on the right?
I don't know if you are sharing, teacher.
I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm not sure.
I'm not. I'm sorry. Let me share. Okay, here. Okay, here. You see the award ceremony where they are giving the prizes?
Wow.
So the Russians got first, the Cubans got third, the Americans got silver, but they didn't show up
Why?
because they thought that there was a theft, that it was um not fair, that the arbiter gave and the referee gave them 3 more seconds to the Russians in that match.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had already started celebrating when the one of the referees whistled blew the whistle. He said, "The game is over." The Russians complained, and then they restarted the game with 3 more seconds for the Russians, and it was then that the Russians scored.
No.
Yes, you look at the documentary, not this one, but another one that is longer. Maybe you take this. Yeah, this one is longer. I suggest that you. Let me just go to the last part of because the Americans had already celebrated. We're celebrating. I'll show you when the Americans are celebrating here.
The platform, and they were going to end it.
Okay, here.
It was a wonderful. The game was over.
Here.
It's almost impossible to score.
Look at that. So the Americans are celebrating here. You see, the Americans are celebrating, and look at the score.
Yeah.
The Americans are celebrating because they think that they won the match.
And you can see how excited.
Oh no.
They are very happy.
All you are thinking about all you have to do is walk up to the platform. You could see this tremendous relief. It was not that. It was not just elation at winning. It was relief at not losing. Finally, they could relax. They could go home the way they were supposed to go home. And suddenly,
Please keep out. There are another 3 seconds left.
3 more seconds.
Het was nog niet over. Officials beweerden dat er maar 1 seconde gespeeld was. De Amerikanen maar konden niet anders dan die resterende 3 seconden nog eens over te doen.
3 more seconds for the Russians.
okay, the Americans are still confident. 3 seconds. It's very unlikely that you're going to be able to score. They feel they know how to do their job. But Kondrashkin brings in a special player to throw a long pass.
Now the clock says 3 seconds. There is time for the Russians to go to their big man, Alexander Belov. They're going to try.
Yeah, that's the end.
Nu was het de beurt aan
And now the
Sovjet-spelers
Russians
om
are
te juichen.
celebrating.
Stommingsslagen. Daarnet nog waren ze Olympisch kampioen. En nu waren ze alles weer kwijt.
Well,
That's unfair.
dramatic, huh? The
Mhm.
Americans were celebrating, and suddenly the arbiter says, no, they still need 3 more seconds. Imagine that you're celebrating, you win, you think you won the gold medal against the Russians, which are considered the enemies. And the referee tells you, no, 3 more seconds, and then you lose.
No.
I will think that Russians made a lot of movies of that story.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I would like you to watch one of these documentaries, and maybe one of these days we can discuss them further, because there is a lot of it involved, lots of politics, sports, and what it means to be at that level of game, right? Chess, basketball, even the top level of politics in the Cold War. It's just interesting. It's a curiosity. Okay. Well, when are we going to have our next class? I need to make up for the class of Saturday. When do we do that? Wednesday, early Thursday,
I think
Friday.
Mm,
Wednesday is okay.
normally we have the class on Wednesday at 6
Six to
p.m.
seven, right?
6 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. And what other day could be, teacher?
Maybe I was thinking if this one time we could do it 1 hour 30 and 1 hour 30 the class on Saturday. This one time only. What do you think? To recover for the class of Saturday. Is that
Yeah.
good, or you prefer to
Tomorrow
have,
and Saturday.
yeah, Wednesday and Saturday, 1 hour 30, this one time only, or
Okay.
we include another day?
No, teacher, it's okay.
So tomorrow for 1 hour 30, Saturday 1 hour 30, and then with the next week we continue as usual.
Yes,
How about
teacher.
that?
It is
Okay.
perfect.
Uh, but what was this change? 1 hour 30?
Uh,
Instead of doing 1 hour only, we do 1 hour 30 tomorrow and 1 hour 30 on Saturday
Okay.
to compensate for the Saturday's class. How about that?
Okay.
yes,
Yeah?
teacher. Sure, it's
Okay,
perfect.
guys. We'll see you tomorrow then. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy your meals and see you tomorrow then.
Thank you, teacher. You as well. Take
Sure.
care.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you
Take
too.
care.
Thank you, Mitch, Mickey. Take care,
Thank you,
guys. Bye.
teacher. Bye.
Bye bye.